Hello and welcome to our introduction to Visual Studio. I'm actually using Visual Studio 2010. It's the professional version. This is the public release candidate that was made available a little while ago. So if we go ahead and look at this, we see a start page. It's got some handy little links to creating a new project or opening a project. It's got a list of recent projects. And over here we've got kind of a getting started or latest news section. This is the start page. You can turn this off if you want to. I find I kind of like looking at it, even though I usually don't use too much out of it. But let's go ahead and create a new project. So you can click on this little link to create a new project. I want to make sure that over here on my installed templates I pick C++. And I can expand this to further filter my list, as there's kind of a lot over here. If I click Win32 and then click Win32 console application, this is the type of application that you should be creating for this course, unless otherwise told. Just a note, make sure if you're in this mode, do not create a CLR console application. It could be kind of confusing. What this is going to create is actually going to create a managed C++ or C++ CLI program, and that is not what we want. Make sure you click Win32 console application. So I'm going to go ahead and give this project a name called Demo Project. And over here you can create a directory for the solution, or you can not, so the solution files in the same directory doesn't matter. I'm going to leave it checked. So then we click OK. No, just one little note. This right up here, this .NET framework choice doesn't actually mean anything for this project template. So we just click OK. Alright, this is going to give us a little C++ dialog wizard. So click Next. Alright, so application type, make sure that you have console application checked. You can have precompile header if you want to. I'm actually going to create a empty project, and then I'm going to click Finish. Alright, so what that's going to do is that's actually going to give me a empty C++ project with none of the other goo that gets added by default if you don't click empty project. Okay, so on the right hand side I have my Solution Explorer, and you can see that all of my nodes are empty, so we're going to go ahead and need to add a code file to this project. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on Demo Project and click Add, and then click New Item. Alright, that's going to bring up a Installed Templates chooser. I can filter this again. I'm going to go ahead and click Code. I want a C++ file, and I'm going to name this main.cpp. And then I'll click Add. And you can see that it automatically gets added to my source files. And so I'll go ahead and explain why that is. If you press F4, that will bring up the Properties window. And I'm going to go ahead and pin it. Alright. So you can see that these nodes work based on, or they're auto filtering. Oh, sorry. Each of these folders are called filters, and they work off of the file extension in order to automatically add a file into a specific filter. So if you look down here, you can see the filter extensions. The mouse over here gives us a little more information, but you can see it has CPP, the C, CC, all the different extensions for source files. So I'm actually going to go ahead and unpin that again and make the Solution Explorer a little bit smaller. Alright, so you can see here that our when we created a new project item, a new code file, it's actually pretty empty. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the standard code that you have for our little Hello World application. So I'm going to do #include IOStream. Then we're going to do int main, int argc, char star con star b, brackets. I think it was insert code here. whatever. You don't really need the comment. Standard cout hello world. Oops. Put our new lines and return 0. Okay, if we save that, this is the basic code that we already had in the beginning. So we'll go ahead and go up to the build menu and click build solution. And so when we build, we're going to get this output window that pops up if you don't already have it pinned. And so when I say pinned, I mean right now this window is floating. If I were to click out here, it's going to go away, and it's down here. When I say pinned, what I mean is keep it open. Alright, so the output window here says, hey, build succeeded. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. So let's go ahead and run this. So to run this, I can go up to the debug menu, and I can either start attached to the debugger or without debugging. It doesn't matter for this program, so I'm going to go ahead and do start debugging. Or you could press F5. And so what you're going to see happen is a console window pop up and immediately disappear. And so this can be annoying, and there are a couple ways to fix this problem. One, I can come up to debug and I can do start without debugging, and this will actually keep the window open for me and ask me to press any key to continue. And so you can see that we actually output hello world. Okay, so another way to do that is I could add a breakpoint right here, and a breakpoint is a way, basically a breakpoint is a tool to help us debug our program. It stops the execution of your program. So on the return statement, I can put a breakpoint, and this will actually stop the program from executing before it actually returns. So if I hit F5 here, you see, hey, it looks like it did the same thing. Well, it did, but the console window is left open. So I can go to it and see, oh, hello world is output. Great, my program is working just like I thought it was. And then if you try to close it like that, that's not going to work. The program is halted. So we can either stop debugging or continue, and then everything closes down just fine. You know, that's really the basics of Visual Studio. This is going to be able to get you going. I will show you a few more things up here. These are handy little quick menus that you can find things that you've defined in your code. Doesn't look like much now because we don't actually have anything in here, but this can go jump through all the different functions, and over here you could jump through your different types if you had those listed. I will show you one thing that I didn't show in the Xcode video, and I'm actually going to open up the Windows Explorer, and I'm going to show you those. Well, so this goes to the project file, and so you can see we have, here's my Visual C++ project file, and then there's this debug folder is where the files get output to. And so if we look through here, we should be able to find our object files. And so remember our file is called main.cpp, so we should be able to find a main object file. And so here it is. It's main. If I click on the properties, you'll actually get the full. You can see what the extension is, as it's currently hidden in my settings. But it's main.obj. And so that's actually the object file that gets created by the compiler. And we can see the demo project executable is somewhere. Where is it at? Interesting. It should be in here somewhere. Demo project. It got copied to a weird spot. So what actually happened was that here's my intermediate output. I forgot, since I created a solution folder, it's going to put the output in a different spot. This is the intermediate files, so this is where all my object files are. I need to actually go up to the solution folder, which here's our solution, and then there'll be another debug folder, and this is where the executable is. And so by default, Visual Studio names the executable the name of the project file. Alright, so with that, go ahead and call this video wraps. Thanks.